Yo, what's going on? All right, Seth, if you're here, I need you to let me know if the music sounds all right. Because I think I'm a little bit louder than it. Maybe we'd bring it down. Cool. New setup, who this? Check it out. We can swap myself around a little bit. I've got thermal mode. Oh man. If I need to zoom in a little bit and would take a closer look at things, we could do that too. So I've been playing around a little bit with my OBS. I think it'll be fun to, just spice it up a little every now and then. Let's see, can I copy this? Well, here we go. We're gonna work on some stuff today. So, new tmux plugin. We'll step into it. We'll let people join as they join. It should be an interesting. I'm going to try to set this to the right level. Yeah, so it should be an interesting day. I have a general sense of what I want to do. I think the proof of concept will be fairly straightforward. And so we'll throw this together and we'll see what it feels like and what it looks like. The short of it is I use Command G, and Command G opens up LazyGit. And so, I talk a lot about it on my channel about using, Darwin style macOS bindings for the terminal. And so I have one that I also set up recently for Command B to build. And I'm thinking that I'm going to extend this to, this is going to be through tmux. So the command bindings actually comes from WesTerm. So WesTerm is my editor, and you'll see here that I'm able to just show off key bindings. So we'll ultimately do some sort of simple prefix binding with an unreserved, character, and then we'll assign that binding to WesTerm so that I can use a command key. So you'll see how this works with Command G. Let's find it. So Command G is literally just a binding, right? G. And so this Command G gives me a new window, and it assigns this variable name here is the name of the window, and then it runs LazyGit. And more importantly, this dev null thing just says, if I hit Q, you're gonna quit. It happens kind of fast. So here, up here's my tree, right? And if I hit Q, it goes away, just disappears. So it's a really great workflow. However, this is what happens. I end up here, right? And then I end up here, and then I have open code running maybe on the side, and then I end up with these multiple windows. And then the end result is if I hit Command G, it creates a new LazyGit reference. However, it's already there. Like if we look, right? If we look way up here, we're gonna see that it's already running, right? Let's see, I can't do this. There we go. So the fact that it's already running is a problem. It overall becomes an issue for me because I'll end up with sometimes multiple of these open when really I just need to go back to the one that was already open. So I think that we can write a tmux plugin that on my bindings will say, is this window already open? If so, switch to it. And then more importantly, it'll be really interesting to play with the idea of like, if there's a pane that has that definition, can I switch to that pane? I don't know yet if I can do that, but that's the plan. and I think it's gonna work out just fine. So we will probably start, let's just kill tmux, and let's just go to config tmux, right? And so here we have our plugins. And so for now, I can make dir, what do I want to call this? tmux window switcher. And you may be asking me, Josh, why aren't you just doing this? Why don't you just do this with Sesh, right? So those that don't know, I moderate and created a session manager. And because this is Windows specific, I feel like I don't really want to go down that path, but someone already asked me that question. So Glitched Code, shout out to Glitched Code. He had suggested something along these lines where it's like, hey, I want to be able to run, I want to run, like specifically run the thing that I can open a certain window up. And if it's already there, maybe I could switch to it. So this is the concept. He's not the one that initially inspired me. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but this is what we're going to try to do here in the next few minutes. And so in my mind, it's like I want to build, I want to start a dev script, I want to open Git, I want to open the editor, I want to grep with Command F. So there's going to be like 5 or 6 that I'm going to personally use for my workflow. And I'll probably make a YouTube video and show people like how this works and how you might want to use it for yourself. What's up, Andres? So good question from Seth. Aerospace, yeah, I'm using Aerospace. I had a community member who recently wrote basically a version of Aerospace, like the same functionality of Aerospace in Rust recently with a really cool project called Rift. Can I show off Rift? I sure can. I don't think this is quite ready for full-time use, but this is kind of a fun thing. So he had reached out on the channel, shared it with us, just a few stars, but he's off to a good start, and it's written completely in Rust. So another interesting solution if people are not so sure about Aerospace. He's made some claims that he's made some improvements here, but I haven't been able to use this full time, so I'm sticking to Aerospace for now. All right, so let's start this up in Sesh. And to my knowledge, nerd font Flodex. I need to make sure that I get this right. So let's just add this. So I have this little way to add things to, let's just talk about it. I'm gonna actually record this. All right, this is gonna be recorded. You guys ready for this? You're gonna see more YouTube channels. So as a Sesh user, I primarily use Zoxide for database reasons, but not necessarily because I'm CDing into things very often. In fact, within a certain workday, I never use the CD command ever, which is kind of interesting. And the way that I'm able to achieve that is by making sure that all of the records that I use are in Zoxide, right? And so how do we do this? I have a few records here that I know aren't in my Zoxide. And so when I use Sesh, I can't see these results. And so I have a command that's just a shortcut, ZAD, and it is an ls command. It lists all the directories and then it uses xargs to insert all of those into Zoxide. And so we'll see here, if I was to sesh list and I wanted just the Zoxide results, and we were going to look at these, we can see that tmux plugins only has a few of the ones that I expected, right? Flodex, Vim Navigator, etc. So to add all of them, all I have to do is run that ZAD command. Now the entries have been added to Zoxide, And so now if I actually pull up sesh and I do the tmux plugins, we're going to see that I have more of those records available to me now. Now these are kind of hard to see. But yeah, so in this case, I want to do the FCF URL one, and just like that, I'm able to get in. And so it's just really great to be able to have a quick way to throw many directories into Zoxide all at once. And so try that out for yourselves, and hopefully it helps. All right, so chat, I'm inspired by Theo. If you guys know Theo in the tech world, he's doing recordings while he live streams. And I thought, hey, why not? I'll try to do that more. So maybe you guys will see that soon. All right, so let's talk about this. You just need a tmux file and a shell file in order for this to work. I think I'm gonna go a step before that, and we're just gonna go to my custom binaries, and we're gonna create one called tmux window switcher. And we gotta make sure that this is executable. All right, so we got our little xmod there, and we gotta make sure this is bash. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to fire first arg1 is emoji. So it's going to be like window name equals 1. If, then echo. All right, so we're going to start here. The most basic thing we could do is just go to tmux config and go to the git thing and make sure that we create a new binding, and it's not going to be lazy git, it's going to be what is it going to be? It's going to be the name of that thing that we just made. tmux window switcher. So I should be able to just run this, and if I run it with a tree emoji, we should get a simple echo statement. But is it going to exit out? It didn't echo. If window name echo usage. Oh, is it 0 indexed? I forget. You got a nasty hack. Let's see this, Seth. When you open sesh in tmux, the previous tmux sesh, I mean, I use Command L. Do you switch between two easily? I use Command L. Why don't we, I don't know if I have key casting. I use Command L. I don't know if you're asking for that. The other thing you can do is, so my custom binaries is the current window, and for me, I kind of like it there, but some people specifically will go out of their way to update their thing to say hide attached. And if you do that, it will, so you can see my custom binaries is the one that's open, and now when I run it, my custom binaries is not there. So you can hide the attached window, or the session rather. So if you want to hide the attached session, it's an option, because then if you hit enter, it's going to be the last session. So maybe hide attached would be helpful. Maybe that's a better workflow for you. I personally prefer having it there, but to each their own, right? So we have dumped this out. I think I just want to echo. Yeah, it's not going to be that, is it? Yeah, so it is one. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if no arg exit. I think we're going to just do that. That's what the Z was for, that's right. So now if you just run this, it's going to say, hey, what are you doing? Don't do that. Yeah, so we want to exit. See the little exit man? If we exit 0, oh, if we exit 0, we're gonna get let's say echo hi. You get the symbol doesn't change for me, so kind of a handy little thing. You keep seeing a fish, I know, because it's a split thing. So it takes a little while for the plugin to catch up on itself, but my emoji picker is automatic. It just works. It's a plugin that I wrote, so it just updates itself. But there's a slight delay, unfortunately. All right, we got some people here today. Hello. We are going to just do a quick switch to, or actually we're going to do create a new tmux window with lazy git. Can I do the, excuse me, the dev null thing? Let's try it. So now if I run that, it worked. More easily if I just hit this, we'll see exit high and right. This is one of those things that I need to figure out the best way to run a command and not have it exit. So we might have to do the send keys. I'll have to play around. I'll find a good solution for that when we get to it. All right, and then so first to do lookup current active tmux session windows for name. So we're gonna do some sort of grep this. Right. Phi. Other language. All right, so then we've got this. If it already exists, switch to that window. So let's just see. I mean, so if I open this up, no, didn't work. So it's, what is it going to be? tmux list windows. I want to like string match. And actually, is there like a format we can do? We can format it. Otherwise, list windows on the current session. So I wonder what the format is. Anyone used this before? Usually there's like symbols in the README somewhere. Format. So it'll be like the name. but I don't actually remember what the value is. Window. Here we go. Let's go down to W. Window. ID. Window name. Oh, sweet. So we'll probably do this explicitly. Did that go to my clipboard? No. Yeah, so Windows scope. Okay, let's do it. So it'll be format. I always forget. I think that's too explicit, right? You have to do the. Is it this? I forget the exact syntax. Let's get this right. So they told me these are the names of them. Oh, it's the pound. That's why. All right. So let's do that. It's the pound brace. Look at those font ligatures. Very nice. So now, oh, that should be it, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we're just grepping. It won't be list all the. That won't be right, will it? We can't just grep and expect it to be there. I guess if it's there at all, if it's there at all, it would just show up as is like a grep like this. Well, we can try it, can't we? So let's delete that. And let's put the tree in so that exits. So it's true, it's true. So let's just do it. So LazyVim already exists, and we're gonna select that. If formatting the window name and we get the grep to be truthy, tmux, what is the, I actually want to like message, display message. There we go. There you go, switching to existing window. So it is doing it, but the select window isn't working. So let's try that. Oh, my bad. My emoji picker and my app switching is right next to each other. Oh, that does work. So then why is my tmux config thing not working? Tmux window switcher thing. It's been working all up until that step. Select window. Is it -T maybe? Target window. So the target window, that's the question, can I? Let's just ask. Can I select a tmux window by its name? Let's see if Gemini Pro has anything to say. colon window name. Interesting. Is that true? Is that valid? Nope. Switch. Weird. So if I select the window and I can't, it will see. So that works. Why does this work, but the script doesn't? Could it be an encoding thing? Yeah, see, it makes a new one. Oh, I'm dumb. It's supposed to, we're not supposed to do this. It needs to like exit. Come on, chat. Chat wasn't helpful. You guys, you're watching me struggle. I forgot to throw an exit code. So now I need to select the window. It's being weird though. Look, it's like, flashing. So I'm not supposed to create a new window, right? That shouldn't even happen. Oh, I know what it is. When you change these bindings, there's a knack that it's like a bug or it's like a glitchy thing. There's some sort of state that's held by tmux and you have to start things over. Well, that's annoying. Let's see, let's switch to Zoxide. So we want the binaries. Great. So that actually was what we want. And then we need a else. This is like the world's simplest plugin. We're like 30 minutes into the stream and this is going to be mostly done. So if it works, that is. All right, so we're going to say, otherwise we're going to say that we created. So that time we switched, but that shouldn't have existed. Dude, yes. Grapes sound amazing right now. I have some grapes. Should I go get some grapes? I don't know if it's rude to eat and stream. So it's switching. Why is it doing it in that order? Do I need to bind it to something else? I don't understand this. Have I done something wrong? Switch to window, but then it immediately goes away. Why? I think we're close. So we're trying to say if this is true. Oh, could it be that if it runs itself outside of tmux that it runs an error? What could be the cause? What could be the cause? I could try a different binding, right? I was saying that could be one reason why this is acting out. So instead of G, we could say, I don't know, capital Z. Bind key Z, I already do that. All right, so capital Q. No, I use capital Q. Dang, what am I doing wrong here? Let's start with the inverse and go the opposite direction, I guess. So in my binary, let's see if it can just give me some general feedback. It's weird though. We list the windows. Will match if this is found. Oh, maybe there's like, maybe it's like always being true. Right? So it's switching. So it shouldn't be able to return true. Right? What we should see is that the tmux list windows, this should exit, and it does exit. Could it be the way that I'm doing this? So the name is that, like this, right? Although we've decided that it's always doing that when it shouldn't be. Created and shifted new window. All right, so that's right. If true. So it's thinking that this is true when it's clearly not. Actually, we could just tmux display message here. So it's definitely the tree. And then it's becoming true. That's the part that throws me off. We're selecting a window that doesn't exist yet. But we know that this evaluates to I don't actually know what I don't know what this returns. so if I do this again, it should, oh, see, there's something wrong. It's still trying to create lazy git. So even though I killed tmux, do I need to like quit wes-term? Like, what's going on? It seems like there's something still happening. All right, so if we go back to wes-term, let's get this guy here. All right. Ooh, the wallpaper changed. That one actually works. Look at this. Can you see this, chat? This is kind of cool. It like almost lines up right there. Should I make it line up? Ugh, that's super satisfying. Look at that. Totally on purpose. That was planned, right? Right, chat? Right? Right? So we killed everything, and now what we're gonna do is go back to the binaries. Window found, and it's still throwing some crazy, it's not supposed to do anything. So it must be the binding. This will be a bigger issue for me if I'm not able to actually fix it. Yeah, this is going to be a bigger problem because I want to override existing bindings. Is there like a unbind? Can I like unbind? I can source. Is it sourcing something bad? So now, Command G, can I, let's just ask, I guess. I might switch to GPT. Unbind key, right? Unbind key. So let's try that. All right. So we're gonna unbind and bind. Weird, but we'll deal with it. All right. Window found. So now we shouldn't be doing any sort of git anything. I am not making sense of this. Hello? It's still trying to... There's gotta be something I'm missing. There's nothing here. This is the buggiest thing I've ever seen in tmux. All right, so we're gonna do capital F. Sure. I think we're just gonna do this by hand. It's still like Windows tmux switcher. What am I missing, chat? This is not supposed to be so complicated. It's like trying to create that window because it's running this. It must be running this, and I need it to not open a new window. I need it to fire in the background as a command. So that's what's wrong. I'm dumb. This is actually manually triggering it. So instead of, that's what it is. So instead of, let's change to GPT. Let's do 4.0. Instead of a new window, I need to run this in the background. Run shell. That's why I'm so dumb, chat. That's hilarious. So this will give me much more predictable results. It wasn't the binding that was the problem. It was the new window, and I needed to run shell. All right, here we are. So now nothing should happen, right? We would expect the display message to display message. So that I need to figure out why it's not running. And then we do if window found so now that we're running shell, what did he say the ampersand was? I think that was maybe misleading. Run shell. I see. So let's see. What do I want to? How do I want to say this? I'm thinking that the C, right? New window, new name, current path. I feel like this should be fine. So the question I have is, nothing's happening. So I have to specify the session if it's running in a run shell command. Yeah, the current context. So like this should work, right? Can't find other session. T. Is that what's happening? new window dash T. Yeah, so that should work. Dash in. Yeah, new window. Just literally creates a new window. So maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves here and we just need to say tmux new window. But again, nothing happens. Oh, let's make sure that we've bound to G this whole time. Wow. Hello, new window. All right, sweet. So I'm just dumb and I keep switching things without paying it close enough attention. So then that means it creates LazyGit. Look at that. So that means we switched. Window found becomes this. Now created new window. Created new window. Switch to window. Chat. Let's get rid of these. But that's it. That's the idea. So if I hit Command G, we get LazyGit, and I'm going to switch back and leave it open. And now if I hit Command G, it switches. Oh my gosh, it switches. Ah! Marcos, we got it. We got it, Mark. Marcos is here, everybody. We did it. We just did it, man. You just showed up for the fun here. And I'll be right back. I'm going to celebrate. Y'all can hear me as I go. Who wants to be part of my journey to the fridge? Okay, so this is cool. I should be able to set that up with the other bindings that I was talking about. And it should just work. But we can play around with, we probably can play around with the idea of splits later. That one gets a little bit trickier though. All right. It's so weird walking away. I'm still on stream, they can still hear me. My family's like, what? All right. Seth, are you still here? We have grapes. Sweet. So that totally worked. And I'm a master of tmux, right? Everybody, is that what we're going to say today? So we're going to do like Command E for editor. And that's the pen. So it's one of those things that's like, it's the first argument LazyGit, it's the second argument, and it's going to be neovim go to file. So maybe we just make the second argument the command. That seems simple enough, right? I actually kind of want to leave this open. Oh. We have to replace this with capital E. I don't actually know. I have to reserve keywords. Oh, by the way, I was playing around with this sidetrack. You can layer things in WesTerm. So I actually was playing around with this colored border. Can you see it? It's like super faint here, but like on a big screen in front of you, it's really nice. kind of a fun idea. But let's go ahead and assign C, D, E to E. Hey, there's haste. By the way, this wallpaper in the background is Sword of the Sea. It's a very cool new game I just finished. I got the platinum on it. So that's what someone might be wondering, what's this background? It was a really fun game. The people that made Journey. You could say I'm a Journey fan. Oh, look at that. It like bleeds through it because of the color. But I got the Journey on vinyl. Very cool game. This is like a predecessor for sure. It very much felt inspired by it. So yeah, let's find an image we like. We'll go back to this one. All right, so that's E. That is actually not what I wanted. What did I want? This is ink. Is it this one? Fountain pen. What the heck? Which one is it? All right, so we'll go to our nerd font window. It's actually going to be here in my tmux config. No, not my tmux, my nerd font window name. Whatever this symbol is. Let's copy it to the clipboard. I sure thought it was the same symbol. I don't know why it's treating it like it's not. Oh well. Back to custom binary. No, not custom binary. It's the tmux config, right? We could actually have these guys side by side if we wanted. And pen. Dip pen? I don't even remember. Nope, wasn't that. You know what it could be? It could be that it doesn't translate. It's probably a different ASCII character. Well, that sucks. But it is right in that situation. So then why is it wrong? That's amazing. No, Marcos, you're fine, man. I appreciate you sending me this, but it's a ASCII representation thing. So when it's being ran through a shell, it's just treating it as something else. Damn. So then what do we want Vim to be? I could do this. Right? I could definitely do this. Let's close tmux. All right. So I can go G, G, E, G, E, G, E, G, E, G. Oh, it's treating that one differently too. Do I need a space? Oh, this is going to be the buggy part. It worked with the emoji fine. So do I need to just try a different emoji? So why is it not playing nice with this? Tell me. Marco's asking the deep questions. Should we record this? Should we give another answer? Sure, let's record it, see if it's good for later. So what is the most bare bones tmux sales pitch? Why would you want to use tmux? What is its purpose? How could it benefit you? Even in this world of AI and this world of fancy code editors like Visual Studio and all the JetBrains products, the terminal still ends up being one of the fastest places that you can work because it's just low overhead. But when you use a traditional tool like the built-in terminal, you end up with an opportunity to create tabs, right? And tabs are useful in that you can have multiple terminals running at once. But if you want to combine that with different projects, you then have to create a new window, right? Let's put that back. And so in order to work with this, you'd have to do a new window. And you can see here, I don't even know my way around this tool. Yeah, so this terminal doesn't even support that, which is funny. And so you can use other terminal multiplexers and other terminal emulators, and some of them will have it and some of them won't. But the bare bones sales pitch here is that you can create sessions using tmux. And so now you can see I have 3 different sessions running at the same time. And with the proper bindings, I can very easily switch between them in an instance, but they're separate terminal instances running. And when you use a session, you can do things like Command N to create splits or Command T to create additional windows. And so you combine all that together and you end up with a very productive workflow of being able to sort of virtually manage as many projects as you want. I didn't love that delivery. I don't know if that recording will go into the playbook there, but it's an interesting question. So now I need to figure out what is causing this issue. So if I do E, weird. So once it's created, it works. So could it be I could try the simple memo one. All right. So this is open. I can switch to that. I can open that. And oh, there we go. So it was a bad character. So let's go ahead and so we need to actually solve the problem of they don't all need to be lazy git. And then I'm gonna, yeah, so I'm gonna work my way backwards here. Okay, so then the second argument is the command, is argument 2. So if no window name, if no command exit 1. All right, so we're just gonna do quick exits on those. I'm sure you can consolidate these. We're gonna switch, we're gonna run, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna call this command. Cool. So that should be that, should be that. Oh, that one's cool. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to bind, where's my build? Build via sesh. So we ended up not doing that. Editor, builder, and then this is there a hammer? Hammer and wrench probably. Bricks build. Oh, weird. It's like a brick wall. I think we'll just do a hammer. And this will be build. Because in my binaries, I have a build command. I've been playing around with this for a while. I like this idea a lot. I want to do more of this. So we're just going to say build. And then while true, do this. Is it going to be one of those that I need to yank till that? That won't build. So if I go to a site like joshbrodesky.com and I build, ah, look at that. It's like immediately dying. Yeah, so you're supposed to run a build. And then when it's done, it's supposed to ask if I want to quit, and I can say yeah. So then why would the build command cool. Am I dumb and I just didn't set up this? Build to run shell, yes. And then let's make sure these are commented out. Build, right, build complete. B build, great. Great, so now if I want to go back, I actually do need my editor. I need to figure out how this guy plays. Nice. I love that. So we're going to do the same with the dev script. Great, 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 great. This is already gonna make me more productive. So we're gonna have the dev and dev would be what? Devil. Funny. One is like a wrench and one is a hammer, sure. And then we're gonna do something similar to the build script, but we're gonna call it the develop script. And the develop script will be similar to the build script. And let's make sure we make this guy executable. Is he already doing it? We already have a dev script. All right, cool. Mark, this is so cool. You need this. You need this new plugin I just wrote. Although it's not published yet. We're still here. Dev. And then we wanted find. Okay. So this one we will do differently. So instead of NeoVim, I don't have this NeoVim working yet. Can I just ask for NeoVim without the go-to file? No, it doesn't want to, it doesn't play nice. All right, so then why, let's go ahead and get rid of that. And by the way, the reason I have this stuff here at the beginning is if I do prefix question mark, you'll actually see them show up with the commands on it. This is the tmux help screen. Prefix question mark gets you there. And so like the message that you put will display. So when I do the binding, I add the key, the command. You're a pain guy? You won't be after this workflow. If you got used to this. But the NeoVim doesn't work. Oh, I'm dumb. Anyone know why? InVim. How funny is that? And so that's the editor. And then the finder, I think would be more fun to do in Vim grep for now. Yeah, so Marcos, this is what he means by panes. You can have panes like this, and then you can like zoom in to a pane. So if we said like echo high, right? You can zoom into this echo pane here and then zoom out. But Mark, you have to zoom in, do the thing, zoom out, and then switch. So you're probably using the tmux navigator. The way that this one works is, so this actually should work now. If I hit Command G, it opens LazyGit. If I hit Command E, I go back to the editor. If I hit Command F, it now opens up a finder. And if I'm in a project that has building like this, I can hit Command B if I don't overwrite everything and screw up my own configs. So B, D, E, F, G. B, D, E, F, G. I don't know tmux's language, or no, what is Emacs language around windows and panes? I don't think there's a concept of windows, so they just have splits. I wouldn't imagine it would be anything more complicated than just splits. Frame and window and buffer. Well, buffer's just more of an abstract term. So they call them frames. I used to use Emacs. I was an Emacs guy for a long time. All right, so this fix binding. But this feels really good, chat. So Mark, look at how easily I can switch between them. I don't think brew keycaster caster. I think I need to reinstall this. Let's give you guys keycaster. Check automatically. Allow this. Password. You guys are seeing it in action. All right, so keycaster is, I'm gonna go ahead and let's sure. Would you like this? Chat? There we go, not bad. What should I put it below me here? No, we'll put it in the corner. So this is really nice. Q gets rid of it. Command G shows me git. Command E goes to my editor. Command D, in the case of like this, would start a dev script. B would build. Oh, as this opens up. And again, I can just go back to my editor and do all the things. All right, and then the other one I haven't done yet is A. So the idea for me is going to be AI. And so we're going to run shell, and we're going to give it a robot agent mode. You guys ready? We're going to have an AI command. Dev needs to be not overwritten there. I think I need to just prune all this. All right, so that's Command G, RQ, T, yeah, sweet. So with my bindings for AI, I think I was just gonna do, yeah. Let's see, let's go ahead and quit that and go back to AI. So we're gonna use the gum CLI, not the gum CLI. Charm bracelets. I'll be right back. All right. So I don't know about you guys, but I've been undecided on my AI tool recently. So I may just say open code. Should probably just be using the same one for a while. All right. So that is some sort of split going on. Binding to A was capital A. All right, cool. So now, oh my God, that feels so easy. The order doesn't matter. If it's a dev script, okay, so the dev script thing probably needs, the thing that's gonna throw my brain off is T is still good, R is still bound to something else. B, D. All right, so D was the one that was off. I want to run the dev script. Oh, is the dev script the thing that? No, it's supposed to just run it. So on Wes term, D is capital D. All right, so let's stick to that. D is capital D. There won't be any for that project. Let's go to like Josh Badesky. Let's div run sweet. Oh boy. Every time I start this project in particular, it all pops up. So if I go like back to the editor, cool, we can have tmux plugin, boom. If I want to build again, we go back to the build. If we want to go to D again, we go to D. If we want open code, we do A. Oh, that feels real good. I love it. And we're still using arc. Yep, this is still arc. So I probably won't use a picker today, but like if you guys have seen, they have a new project called Crush. So the Charm team has their own editor thing that you can pick from. I think it's just gum. So, I mean, they made a security update recently. They updated the versions of Chrome, but I noticed the Max features, I think, are going away. Possibly. I don't know what it is exactly. Max. There was like a feature where you could search through the page for an answer, and I think they got rid of it. So I think a Max feature disappeared on me, possibly. This is the plugin, you guys. This is working. It's working well. I could start with a blog post and explain it, but basically there's a set of tools up here, right? There's a set of tools. You have your shell, you have the ability to grep things in your project, the editor itself, a build command line, and then more recently an AI companion. So the way that this plugin now works, most of you have been here and have seen it. Let's make sure we can see all this. Is that you would switch between them. You can use macOS key bindings, and you can hit T to start up a project. You can also split and do your best to work within the splits that are available to you, but it requires additional key bindings. So the path forward with this new plugin, and we'll see how my workday goes tomorrow, I'll report back, is if I want to go to Git, we didn't mention Git, we can just hit a button and Git opens. And if we hit go back to the editor, we can see the contents of the file, and if we want to build, we can see the build, and I can very easily switch between them with single commands. So Command E for editor, Command B for the build, and we've exhausted a quota. So that's fun. I've never done that before in my build. But it works very, very simply, very, very easily. For now, you can, like in this case, I could merge, I can merge and destruct commands using, so like in this case, I have the builder and the AI tool. And if I wanted to merge one into the other, I have a binding that lets me do that. Weird. All right, I'm back. My mic died. I don't know why it died. Thanks for letting me know, Marcos. Weird. These are fancy too. They're fairly expensive. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm back now. Thanks for letting me know. Squeaky chair. My chair doesn't squeak. Weird. Do I sound worse? Be honest. Do I sound worse, way better, way worse, the same? If I sound the same, I don't always have to pull this out and use it. I just thought the production quality would be higher if I had a better mic. DJIs, yeah. They're fancy, but I don't know why it turned itself off. Electrical problem, heating problem. All right, so I guess the best thing to do now is to go to our dot, let's go to the binaries. And let's add, we don't need that guy right now. tmux window switcher. I think that's it. That's all we mess with today. So we're going to say it's a new thing, and it is a add new tmux window script. And then none of these we're going to fix. No, we're gonna new switch near them icon. We got AI, we got builder, we got, let's go ahead and make sure that this is all good. The binding, I think I'm gonna leave this one alone for now. Lazy Git, editor, dev, builder, AI. So this is like the cornerstone of smart Windows switcher. This is the solution. It's a bash script and it's in 2 arguments. The first one being what is the name of your window? And the second being, okay, but if that window doesn't exist, what command do we use when creating a new window? That's the rules. That's all that's to this. So I mean, it exists now. It's out in the world. Let's add new tmux bindings with smart window switcher. Right? Easy enough. So what we could do is you could install this as a plugin if you wanted to. I mean, ultimately the script becomes what? A command? But you would still need a bash script and the executable. Well, you don't need the executable, but that's kind of the point. So instead of setting those values, we'd set custom values. I don't think it matters. This is like a, I don't know, this is probably 5 minutes of someone's time now that I've spent an hour and a half figuring it out. Which is why I'm a content creator, right? The tmux plugin author. So we could call this a plugin, but really it's just a sort of accessibility thing. Yeah, I mean, that's all this really is. So, I don't know. I gotta think about this more. I'll probably sleep on it. I'll probably spend a day using Sesh, using lots of different projects, you know, running through different projects and different use cases throughout my day, and then come back to it and figure out if that's what I want to do, or if that's how I want to work. I will say the only thing that stands out to me is when I do the dev script thing, in my mono repos, I don't usually run the dev script on the session. I usually run it on a parent. So like name. I have a new Obsidian plugin ecosystem that I've been building. I'm excited to share it with you guys soon. I just have to work out some final details and then make a manageable, presentation, because I'm not going to probably put my Obsidian notes out on my YouTube, because there's just so much sensitive data in there that I don't really want to even deal with that. So there's some hoops to bury here. But if we do build, you'll see that it's running turbo repo. And if we do PD, oh, we don't have a package. I typically run, although I guess in Obsidian's case I wouldn't be doing it this way, but in my day job I run a server and a web app, and a couple of packages get put in dev mode so that I can make changes and go through the loop of like, if I change a package, I want the server to update, and if I make a change to the web page, I want to auto refresh. And so instead of trying to manually queue multiple scripts, I can just say from the root of the project to start all of them up. So that's probably the main outlier here, is I would have to say, like, if I'm in this kind of project, go to the root of the project instead of all of this stuff. So the command B and the command D become less useful, although I've already gotten kind of used to it. I have command 9 set up to assign myself or to switch to the root of a monorepo. So it's proven useful, but I think that'll be the most obvious outlier for this specific scenario. But this feels good. This is what I wanted. Where's my script? tmux window switcher. What do we got? tmux session changed. Oh yeah, I need to set that up soon. Crazy that this, I don't know why it took me this long to write this code, because it's not really doing very much. This is 17 lines. Look how nicely it fits. Anyone have any questions for me? I haven't been live streaming a whole lot lately. I did get this Git status thing working from last week. It really only shows me the current. It only shows me the current buffer. So if I have splits, it doesn't work very well yet. But we might revisit that in a stream. Let's see. Let's do GPT. Think deep. Let's use context 7. It's a very simple script, so I'm not thinking that ChatGPT is going to have much to say about it. And context 7, it didn't even spend the time to look at it. We probably could like serialize the commands or something. Let's see, what are they going to say? Overall, input handling and UX. Right. Window existence check. Pitfalls matches only attached session by default. Right, but that's fine. Target ambiguity. Running the command. So they're just, and then security, what was this? Quoting word splitting, yep. Running the command. Error handling. All right, so nice. There's a little help screen. Probably would be worth the trouble. Print usage, interesting. So Marcos, this is Raycast AI. I think I pay somewhere near like maybe $10 or $15 a month, and I get charged annually. So it's like, I don't remember the exact pricing. Is it /pro? Yeah. So $8 a month gets you the basics, and then advanced AI, $16 a month, billed annually. So what I love about this, and you may want to check out Raycast yourself if you want, because look at all these models. All of Anthropic's models, including their reasoning models, including their flagship models like 4 Opus is here. Pretty cool. Gemini, GPTs, and then Grok, Qwen, Mistral has some models. Raycast has their own modified versions of these that work. I don't know what it's a fork of. I'd actually be curious to find out. Oh, there you go, GPT-4o base model. But it's optimized specifically for Raycast, so that's pretty cool. DeepSeek. And then you can use OpenRouter, which gives you literally hundreds of options. And then you can also use Ollama. So if you want to run the local model, you can now do that with Raycast, which is really great. What I love about it is all of my, like I was asking a question about OBS, downscaling, right? And so now all of my chat with AI is all in one place. So anytime I want to go back and reference something, it's there. I also use MCPs. So, like Context 7 is a popular one. I have an Obsidian one that really helps me out. And then I can attach lots of things. Clipboard, focus tabs. I can capture something on the screen and then use it. So Raycast has been so great. And I have a referral link. Let me know if you want one. It can maintain a conversation if you go back to it and continue the conversation. But it's not like ChatGPT where like it has some instinctual understanding of everything you've ever told it, which is interesting, but you're locked into ChatGPT, right? You can only use that service. So if you want to try another model, forget about it. Or if you find another service that has a better, offering for you or suits your needs better, you're going to just keep using ChatGPT. So I've liked the variability that Raycast offers. And now that they offer OpenRouter and Ollama, I don't just have to use cloud services, but their privacy rules are really good. So whatever you're telling, ChatGPT, they're not like dialing in on me as Josh and like making a deep understanding of who I am as a person, where they definitely can do that if you're on the GPT servers directly, right? They're like making a list and figuring out who you are. But I think I'm going to end the stream here. I'm going to do my shtick, what I always do at the end of a stream, which is, check me out at joshwadesky.com if you haven't already. Do follow me on YouTube if you haven't already. It's at Josh Wadesky. I have some new videos coming that I'm excited about, including this one. This will be turned into a video. We have a Discord server, so on the website, if you want to go to the top corner here, you'll see the little Discord button. We talk about Marcos is there, Mark is there, Andres is there. There's people that have been in chat today that they're all in the Discord server. We talk about NeoVim, tmux, terminal emulators, Mac OS, Linux a little bit, keyboards, nerdy stuff. I'm into 3D printing. I try to bring that up sometimes. So it's just my server that I moderate, and we answer questions there and all sorts of stuff. So I hope you guys have a good night or good morning wherever you are. Thanks for sticking around today. I won't stream tomorrow. Today was an early day stream. I usually stream Thursday nights for those that might be interested in coming back and being a part of the conversation. And who knows, I'm hopefully gonna do more to my OBS setup. I'm hoping that down here, I'm going to probably add details about the stream and social links and stuff like that. And then I'm hoping above to put a chat overlay for the YouTube chat. I think that'll be a fun way for people to be more interactive here. In fact, before the top of the hour, I think I'm going to just try to do that on live stream and we'll just see what happens. So why don't you just chill with me here for a few moments more, and I will try pop out chat. So pop out chat like this. Let's try it and let's just see what happens. So I'm going to add a source called browser. It's going to be this guy, and this guy is going to be this. And oh, would you look at that? So I don't know if I would actually be able to increase it, but look at that, it's there. I actually don't know. Font size. I guess I would do like this. Yeah, so I could definitely get it here. Let's mess around with it for a few minutes. 600 by 800. So if I was going to increase the size, I don't know if that's gonna work. No, that wouldn't work. Interesting. So what I'd have to do is I'd have to figure out, is this legible to you guys? Does this look all right? What do you think? We got 3 people left. They're all lurkers, I know it. Probably won't hear from anyone. Okay, well, there it is. It exists. And then the idea would be, if I go up to like this view, we could put me over here, like this maybe. Add source, browser, existing browser. And then we would do this. So cool. This would totally work. Marcos, your name is so long. Look at, you've said all the things. You're the top chatter for now. Cool. So what I like about this is, look, I can move these around, which is kind of fun. So I'll have to play around with and figure out visibility of things and how often I want to show them, and maybe I have to add some additional features here, rounded corners, stuff like that. But yeah, pretty cool. All right, well, that is officially it for now. It's actually officially it. We'll go back to this. We'll go back to this screen. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you next week, and yeah.